Sometimes when you want to power ICs or circuits, like this 741 OpAmp, which is kind of blurry, then you need to have a plus voltage, a minus voltage, and a ground. And that can be accomplished using two power supplies in parallel like this. The minus right here and plus right here connected to form the ground, and the plus on one side obviously being the plus, and the minus on the other side obviously being the minus. But there's also an easier way to do that, which takes only one power supply. And that is using one of these, which creates a virtual ground in the middle right here, which is going to be half of the voltage on the plus. So there's an easy way to create this, and that's just going to use the two capacitors and resistors, as shown here, which are connected very simply. So you have the positive for your power supply, the negative right here. Okay. Basically what you do is you connect the capacitor like that. Make sure this is positive. This is positive on this side. This is the negative side if you're using electrolytic, which is most likely the case. And then you have to connect your resistor right in front of there. A little too close. Then you connect them in the center as capacitor and resistor dividers. Just like that. Okay. I found that the values of these aren't absolutely critical as long as they are the same on both sides. So what I was using is 220 ohm on the resistors, and the capacitors are 10 microfarads. Tested them with different voltages and they worked. I'm sure they'll work with other voltages. And then in the middle here, so obviously you have the plus still on the outside, the minus still on the outside too, but in the middle you have your virtual, okay, welcome to the channel, virtual ground, which is 1/2 of the supply up here. So if this is 12 volts, it's minus 12 volts, then in the middle here we'll have about 6 volts. Let me just test this out. I don't know if you can hear the hum in the background, but I have the power supply set to 12 volts. I'm just going to power it. These alligator clips. Power the circuit. It's drawing current with no load. Obviously there are resistors, so I guess there is a load. 0.03 amps. Okay. So now if I have the multimeter just right there, set it to voltage 60 volts because I can only do that right now. The negative right here, right there, positive right here. As you can see, we're measuring basically 12 volts, 11.95, close enough. But if we, same negative right there, and if we measure the middle pin, 5.95, 5.96, so 6 volts. Now if we go from ground to positive, it's basically the same thing. 5.99, okay, 6 volts, same thing. So now we have created half supply voltage when connected to negative, and basically closed circuit. And here, I'm going to step down the voltage to 6 volts, and I'll show you that it is basically another power supply. got this LED here, which is optimal to run at 30 volts. So if we connect it to 6 volts, okay, see, doesn't have to be exactly 6 volts. And if we connect it, it lights up. It's in my hand right now, so it's hard to see probably. Yeah, I don't know how I can get that. Oh, uses his brain. You can see it lights up. If we do it on the other side here, come on, lights up too. So we've created a virtual ground using just 2 capacitors and 2 resistors. Hope you found this useful.